I can see you, Deirdre. It's still in gallery view. All right, we're going to get started. We don't have a quorum yet. This is the CAD meeting. Right now we have 5 people, so we have a total of 11. We haven't met quorum, but we're gonna go through old business and new business, so we'll see if maybe we meet quorum throughout the meeting to be able to review that. All right, let's get started. Okay, this is David. I'm going to call to the meeting to order. This is February, what is it? The February the 23rd? Yes, that's right. And we're going to go ahead and get the meeting started. This is our statewide general meeting. Welcome. The time is 3:03. So we are doing this, some of us are in person, some of us are coming to you remotely. And at our last state general-wide meeting was at that time we were
at that time hybrid, and we want to see how hybrid functionalities work for this meeting. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
I still have saying people that they can't see me, so we're going to go ahead and wait.
Amy, if you could just make sure that you are pinning me and also the deaf interpreter.
Okay, let's see if we put the view that says that it's in gallery. Can everybody see me within the side-by-side gallery view? Okay, it's important to be in the side-by-side gallery view. All right, so thank you, everybody. We're going to go ahead and talk about what we are looking at. I apologize if there's, any kind of distractions, but I'm looking at the screen over here. So you see we do have a deaf interpreter. We also have captioning, and we also have hearing interpreters who are voicing for our captioners. So we will be streaming live on Facebook today. We will have a transcript available for download. And so in case you are low vision and you do need that. Again, we're going to be taking turns, one person at a time who will be signing to ensure that the information is done, and then we'll go to the next person and so on and so forth. We do have an agenda that we'll be following this evening. And if people who join us online, If you have any, during the question and answer period, we will have an open discussion opportunity. So be sure to hang on to your questions. Again, we want to make sure that this space is accessible. So we have some community agreements, some ground rules that we are reviewing today. So we want to make sure that this is a respectful space, that we want to sign clearly and slowly so that the information is clear. Again, the meeting is being streamed live on Facebook, so thank you for those of you who may be joining us. And thank you for joining us on the Facebook page. So now, let me just make sure. Here's the agenda that we're going to be following for today's meeting. So first, we're going to do introductions, roll call essentially, and then we're going to go to board updates, so all of the board reports for all of the board members. And then we're going to have our presentations. We have several of them. The first one is the 21st Century Advocacy. What does that look like? What does that mean? And we're also going to talk about innovative funding. And then we're going to talk about, is CAD an organization or an agency, and what the difference between those two are. And then also, why is it important to be a member? What does membership mean when you're a part of CAD? And then finally, we're going to close out with the CAD 23 to 25 priorities for this 2-year period. So you'll see our vision for the rest of the year until we meet again, which will hopefully all be in person, plus live stream. That is the goal. And then we will review our action items. If we meet quorum, we'll go through those action items. We'll go over any announcements, give you some reminders, and then finally, we will give you the information about our future meetings, and then we will adjourn. So our president.
I'm here.
And next, our vice president, please. Antoinette.
Present, I'm here.
And secretary, Deirdre Tannenberg. That's me, and I'm here. Treasurer, Hugh Leffler.
I'm here.
And then next, we have our membership director.
Youth director.
Youth director.
I'm here.
And our membership director, Dustin Knott. DK.
Hello, I'm here as well.
All right, so we are all satisfied. The entire board is present. And we're going to go ahead and start with our president update.
This is David. I just want to make sure that I am pinned, so I'm ready to go. Am I pinned, everybody? Just give me 1 second. Just dealing with some technological issues here. Just bear with us. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Let me just fix my camera here. Yeah, I don't want to sign and flip my laptop down here. Thank you for attending our virtual meeting. Yes, we are hybrid because the board, some of us are in person together. We went to a NorCal event last night, and we are meeting here at NorCal headquarters. So we want to support our deaf sister agencies, and this is one way we do so. So we are meeting here at NorCal headquarters. First, I want to start off my report. Yeah, I don't know why I signed it on my forehead. It's, maybe it's because it's a lot of information. But I want to make sure that you know how we are meeting our mission, and I will be going over that information. I want to welcome our new Vice President, Antoinette. She'll introduce herself later and her background. She was recently appointed to serve for the rest of the 7-month term for 2025. So as I just explained, generally speaking here, the mission for any organization is great because that is our North Star. And it doesn't have to always be spelled out exactly what we do for a specific term or whatever time we do or a project in specific. But it's important that the mission does spell out everything that we do in order that we do meet it. When we got together in 2023, we set up those guides from the previous CAD membership and decided that these were our priorities, as you can see here. And these CAD priorities have not changed from 2023 till now. This board's priority is all of the details here listed on the slide. I do want to create emphasis on supporting deaf access program agencies such as NorCal Services, all the sister agencies throughout California. I want to ensure that we are more connected to these sister agencies. So these are our priorities here at CAD. I don't want to go into detail here. This is also live streamed, so you were able to review it at a later time as well. Again, I am very proud of this group. And also our excellent webmaster, Amy, has helped facilitate these meetings and make sure all the technology is set. All right, that's enough for this. I have more going forward. Here we go. So the year in review. Wow. A lot has happened. You can look at this later when you have some time. I have pretty much been all over California and back multiple times. This group also has traveled throughout California. Some of us are in Northern California, Southern California, Central Valley. A lot of us have been doing a lot of things. We have posted some of the stuff we've done on social media as well. We have more events going forward. This is not it. We will go into detail about that later. And at the end of this meeting, we want to make sure that you have takeaways to see that CAD, our advocacy is different within the 21st century and why we're trying to change our approach from what's been. Because we want to set up the next board with a good foundation. Also, we want to discuss funds, all of our financials. We want to have a clean handoff to the next group with a strong financial mindset and also means to be able to advocate. You know, we are not just here with big ideas with no action. We are taking action, and this is our different way of doing CAD business. How officers do it, how the board does it. Also, reviewing what it means to be a CAD member. But in the past, CAD membership, there was a lot involved, and it was very active. Yes, of course, you have to pay on time, but being active meant being involved on committees. And we've noticed that the numbers have dwindled. Some of us are on the board are also on committees. Luckily, we have the 8 sister agencies to support different things, and we're able to give money and meet with the 8 sister agencies. So that is the 21st century advocacy model that we want to take. We are still doing the old way of membership. Dustin Knott will be expanding on that. I am very, very proud of how this group, and you know, I'm not saying we're spending money. We, out of the blue, we are reinvesting where necessary. And that helps organizations throughout California, whether big or small, to get the boost they need to finish the services and goals that they need to meet. We love to consult and we love to support as much as possible. Oh, it seems like there is an interpreter issue. Do you see that the interpreter issue in the chat? Just give us 1 second, please. One of the interpreters is asking for spotlight. That's the issue. Just give us 1 second. Just give us 1 second. We're trying to work out interpreter logistics here. If you could refer to the chat. Okay. Is that good? Are we set to proceed? Interpreters, are you okay?
Okay.
I just want to make sure that this is fixed. Okay, so before we proceed, I do want to remind you that, sometimes we have deaf interpreters, we have hearing interpreters voicing our meetings. Some folks have asked, why are there deaf interpreters or hearing interpreters? This is a deaf organization. That's not necessary. No, we want to set up a standard to ensure everybody within our deaf community is involved, whether you be deaf, hard of hearing, deaf blind. I know that does require more of a juggle with logistics, but in the long run, it pays off accessibility-wise for all of the members throughout our state. More from me later. I have my presentation later today, but now we will move on to our officer reports. Let's move on to our new appointee, Vice President Antoinette. Just give us 1 second to work out logistics here.
Are we ready? All right. Hello, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be here and be involved as the vice president. It really is an honor for me to hold this position and work with this team. It has been incredible. And so I just joined. It's only been about 2 weeks. Oh, perfect. There we go. It was 2 weeks ago. And just instantly got connected. I've learned so much from this team. And, to be honest, it was like, I believe that we're going to thrive. There's going to be a lot of success with this team. And just like the president was mentioning, there is a lot of love and energy and teamwork and collaboration. And I agree, coming into this space really is what I'm experiencing so far. So the reason why I decided to get involved is that language is so important. ASL, it's so important. And I want to make sure that it is on the front lines and being advocated for. I grew up, I saw my parents, they were deaf. My family was deaf. I had uncles and cousins and other family members who were deaf. And I was, just fascinated with all of the history and the information and the language that I was exposed to. And when I see that that's starting to be shifted, like it should go underground, I'm like, no, 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 no. We need to keep that history, that language front and center. And so I felt I had an obligation to come and work with this team and bring language front and center. Not something that is hiding behind, not something that is not visible, but that we keep it as a top priority, and that we are making sure that there are interpreters and that there are deaf interpreters, and that in the educational system that it is that is the focus, is that there is language access, and that it needs to be our focus. And so I feel obligated to be here, and I want to be here. So I feel honored as well to be a part of this and be able to be involved in this way. History means a lot to me, and so especially when you talk about making of films and acting, of course, there's history involved in that, and getting those stories out there through that medium, and also adding to that history. So again, my responsibility for all of you is an ad hoc committee that I've established, the Fireside Chat Committee, as well as the DI and Seniors Committee, and ensuring that the recognition and awards are happening. Because again, those both are inclusive of language and culture that I am focused on. So the fireside discussions, we're getting those logistics ready, and at the same time, for both of these groups, we're going to see some overlap, and we want to establish them for success. So in Riverside, in fall of 2025, they are planning
an ASL celebration in 2026.
Thank you. And so we need committee members. We need you to come and be involved and be a part of this. If you've got skills, great. If you want to learn, great. We can work together. We can utilize your volunteerism. And so we can make magic happen. When all of us get together, we can make magic happen. And so there are 6 committee members for each group currently. And we want to start in March for the Fireside Chat, and then March 2nd. And then we want to start a meeting every 2 weeks. And for the high school senior group, we want to start on March 9th, which is also a Sunday, and we'll be meeting every 2 weeks there. The time that we're looking at is 4:00, an hour each. And so I'm really hopeful that you will join, that you'll go out and recruit others, because we can't do this without you. We're all a team, both board and all of our members and folks that are volunteering. And so we've got a question that we will add later. I'm going to hold off for now, but I just want to say thank you, and that is my report.
Wonderful. Thank you, Antoinette. All right, we're off to a wonderful start here. This team, we have had Deidre, Hugh, also Dustin, and also our new vice president. Oh, it's just so wonderful to get the extra help. But as we expand our committees, we hope to meet more of you in the future. Okay, so now we will move on to our esteemed, actually, no, they're right here in person. Go ahead. Okay, our esteemed secretary, Deidre. Okay, so anytime the community is giving feedback, we always welcome feedback and input. There was actually feedback that was just given just now. To ensure, to make sure that things are more accessible visually with the deaf interpreter and also the speaker. So I am happy to check with the board really quick. The board, are you okay with turning off your cameras until it's your turn to present or speak? Is that okay with you, board, to turn off your cameras? until it's your turn. So if you wouldn't mind going ahead and doing so. Also, Antoinette. The deaf interpreter would stay, Dominique. Great. Yeah, please, audience members, please do give feedback. We so appreciate that. So now I want to report on what Antoinette mentioned about the form. So I have a form ready on our website, and that form is actually for those 2 ad hoc committees. So I will go and show you the link so you know exactly where to locate that on our website. Let me quickly show you how to get there. Can everybody see this? Okay. So this is our website. This is the homepage for CAD. If you want to join one of the ad hoc committees, please fill this form out. This is essential for us to screen applicants, to understand who you are, what your availability is like, if you prefer to join virtually, things of that nature. So you would scroll down, and it says here, partner with CAD. Then click Learn More, where it says Join CAD Committee. Fill out your information as much as possible. If you need support filling out information, please send an email to info@cad1906.org. And we will work with you to ensure that you are successful filling out this form. We will be meeting every 2 weeks to see who completed the form, what actions needs to be done, and move forward from there. All right, let's go back to the slideshow here. Okay. Now, I wanted to share with you all, with the board and also audience members, about the emails that we've been receiving at info@cad1906.org. I want to make sure you guys know that we're not forgetting you. That's definitely not our goal here. So far, we actually received somebody's interest for joining the committee. Thank you so much for your email. Also, sponsors. We asked folks to request, to fill out the sponsor form for us to sponsor events, community engagement events, such as Bay Area Deaf Association. Bay Area Asian Deaf Association actually set up a Lunar New Year celebration, also deaf blind interpreting, also voice interpreting, sponsorship requests for those types of things. So if you know of some event or workshop that you want sponsored by CAD, we can review those. Again, every 2 weeks we meet to see if we want to go ahead and green light that sponsorship. If not, we will communicate with you to see if we can work out some details. We have a few people asking about surveys, also studies about from different universities. For example, we had Notre Dame, California State University, Northridge, Massachusetts, surveys about trilingual interpreting, and other technical universities that want to study deaf culture and survey regarding our language. So the board, I had a discussion with them on how we can send out surveys without bombarding your emails, we figured we would put these surveys on our website so that they're available for you to fill out. Also, we'll share them on our social media page. So if you send something our way, we will definitely share that, but make sure you include the link to the specific website, because that will help ease the process for us when we are posting this information on our personal pages. And folks can, in their own time, take these surveys and studies. I feel like that's the best we can do at this time. And now, moving on to the next slide. I just updated this in September because some dates change. There were some revisions that I made. For example, January was supposed to be for anything for youth.
Ask me anything.
Ask Me Anything for youth. And that was postponed due to a specific reason, and Alexis Bravo will be sharing why. Also, March, I'm looking at. March is there. Mm-hmm. We also have a February meeting, and that is happening today. Now, March and April, the fireside chat, I'm hoping to have subject areas where folks have expertise and talk more about what the fireside chat is for and what it entails. And by May, I'm hoping to announce high school seniors recognition awardees. Alexis Bravo will be sharing more about that. So we're very excited to recognize seniors graduating in May. And we're excited for their journeys as the next generation of deaf folks. June and July, we have fireside chats. And then if you can see here in August, there is the CAD recruitment forms that are due. So this is for any board election because September is our next, this is actually our board's last statewide meeting. So this is your opportunity to join the board. This is election season for us. We are ready to pass on the baton to the new group of folks. So we look forward to having you join us. So there are two pins here on these sides of August and September, because these are opportunities for webinars. We want to run trainings for nonprofits who are still trying to figure out how to establish a smooth transfer to another board. We want to take trainings on what that would look like to make sure that people are ready to take on the baton and continue the great work of CAD's mission and organization. Also to continue events, supportive services, ideas, innovations. We want to make sure we're prepared and also encourage other people to be prepared. So we'll be learning along with you. We'll be establishing those trainings and also taking them. The other pin next to September is another training that we want. We want it to be more equitable, more accessible, also focusing on modern technologies. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed with technology. There's a process to technology and how we acquire it. It requires training and things like that. So we're ready to go after these trainings. So I just want to remind you what Fireside Chat is about. So FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, had a chat with on the radio, and of course, us as deaf folks, we can't hear, but we sign. We sign and we talk about specific subject matter experts, SMEs, We talk with them and they inform us on how CAD's priorities are aligning and what opportunities there are to partner and learn from each other. And also, this could be past, present, or future. So if you have a community event that's already happening within your region, invite us to come. And we at CAD can actually set up a live stream with your SME or community in person so that the rest of the state can actually see what's being discussed locally in your areas. Who says we can't do it all, right? So let's do it. Okay, so now we will move on and spotlight Treasurer Hugh Laffler.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is the treasurer's report. And there's two balances, our checking and our savings. And in our checking, you have $8,922.70. And in the savings, you have $3,512.58. Also, our endowment as of December 31st is $1.6 million. 1.6 million. You can see the number here on the screen. And we have had a loss of investment of $48,518.92. And our total earned income is $42,237.99. So understand that every month the endowment is going to, our investments are going to fluctuate. That's normal and to be expected. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. All right. So I remember we were talking last time in the very beginning about all of our investments, right? So we did invest in quite a few things. So I wanted to highlight those. At the CalEd conference in September, we invested $5,000. And then there was a Co-Fusion Group documentary, and that was $25,000. Bay Area Asian Deaf Association was in October. We gave $500 to that event. And then, so there was a total of $1,500. And we sponsored $800 for Norcrid and the DHHSC BDF in November. We gave $1,000 to that event. And then we had the Sign With Me Incorporated. We invested $1,000 there. And then you'll see the Bay Area Asian Association, again, that's that $1,500 I just talked about. So total, we've invested $34,300 into different local organizations and events. So that is my report. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Alexis Bravo. I am the youth director here at CAD. I have brown hair. I'm a Mexican male, tan sweater. I have my sleeves rolled up at the moment. I am ready to report what I've been doing thus far. I know Deidre mentioned in January we were supposed to have the Ask Me Anything AMA for youth. Unfortunately, January there was a lot going on. First, regarding the Trump administration, there was a lot of issues within like federal funding, also the plane issues. Also, there was that massive fire within Los Angeles area. So there was a lot of eyes there. So we wanted to respect everybody's personal issues during that time. So we decided to postpone it to March because that's actually the National Deaf Youth Day on March 6th at 3:30 to 4:30. We'll do it on the same day. So it'll be a great opportunity for us to discuss these topics. So please develop questions on how you can support our deaf youth, really anything regarding youth. Please take a note and ask on that day. I really look forward to seeing all of you there. Also, the High School Senior Recognition Award, there are two forms. The first form is for nominations, a nomination of a specific student. This could be anywhere throughout California. This could be a school for the deaf, a mainstream school, homeschool, whatever the school may be, you can nominate that deaf student. That form is now available on CAD's website for nomination purposes. The other one, I need your help, people. I can't do this myself. I cannot screen every individual to nominate and choose the person. So if you could please join our committee, that's the other form. I want folks with rich experience, your opinions, different backgrounds, so that we can get a better view on what this would look like and who we would choose, so that we can vet down to the specific individuals that will be awarding. And once we set those individuals, we will recommend them to CAD board, and the CAD board will disseminate that information. If you are chosen as an awardee, you will receive a wooden placard. We haven't necessarily agreed, but I actually want Fremont School for the Deaf to actually create this wooden placard so that we can give it to the awardee. And that will happen in June. A lot of high school graduates graduate in June. So we will inform you once we've selected these folks. Next on my items here, I'm very excited that we have set up our art contest for our youth. We have adult artists who have been recognized so much. Like, for example, our infamous CAD blue shirts with the drawings on the front of the tree and with the roots. That was from our ASL celebration. And now it's time for us to change this drawing, and I would love for our youth to have an art contest. So this could be done with a shirt, this could be a specific logo for CAD. Also, our digital IDs for membership as well. Deidre mentioned that she's going to figure out how to set up specific perks for this art contest. So please submit that art by June. We will disseminate a flyer on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and other social media platforms. And we will set up expectations there on what we want from your drawings. And once you are done, email me at youth@cad1906.org. And I will look over those, bring it to our membership and our board. And then from there, we will pick the best one. I'm actually going to pick 3, not just one. And if you win, you will get a free membership for 2 years. Also, you will be invited to our meeting in September. The reason is I don't want to show the drawing, but not the person, right? I want the individual to be there. And it's not my place to discuss somebody else's drawing. I want this individual to discuss their process of creating their art and give the award in person. And of course, they will get a free t-shirt, something of that nature as well, so that they feel proud and recognized for their great accomplishment with their art. I'm so looking forward to this art contest, everybody. I look forward to this happening. Please keep an eye on when our committee will be meeting. Our first meeting will be March 9th, 4 to 5 for an hour. We will be reviewing our expectations for this, and we may meet every 2 weeks, and then as we get closer, maybe on a weekly basis for meetings. And we'll have to just select by May, and then June we can go to specific places to congratulate our awardees. So I know maybe you may not feel like you're the best fit for this committee, but I am begging you, I'm pleading at this point, please advertise this committee. We need folks on the committee. Thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, membership director, Dustin Knott.
Thank you, Alexis. All right. Hello, everyone. Let me just adjust my camera here. Hello, everyone. I am here to talk about several things that are related to membership activities, renewals. So I'm going to go talk about the process. So if we could actually go to the next slide, please. So first, you can see this list here of the different groups of individuals that we have as members. So we have individuals that are general membership. We have a total of 158. We have our individual that is senior, 55 and over, and then our individual that are youth that are 18 to 30. And so with everybody included, you'll see that we have 254 members. But really, only 237 of those members are active. Now, if you go over to the next column there, you're going to see that you're going to have over 180 folks that are due for renewal. So 122 of our general, 45 of our seniors, so forth, what you see here. And so people feel a little bit confused, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to renew? Am I new? So we're going to talk about the benefits of membership. So if we could please go to the next slide. So now members are curious, what do you get when you join? So for an individual general membership, it is $30. And for a senior citizen over 55 is $20. And also for youth, it is $20. So when you join, again, folks have been curious, well, what do you get for the price of your membership? And really, first and foremost, you should know that your membership gets you 2 years of membership. There is no automatic renewal. If you want to join just for 2 years, that's great. We will send out reminders if you want to continue your membership beyond that. And we'll send out. Go ahead.
The newsletter will be sent out
to members, and then there's conferences and presentations, other things that you'll get discounts on as a member. And then again, importantly, you'll be able to vote, right? Because if you're not a member, then you are not able to have a vote in deciding who is on the board, what the priorities are for CAD. And then the more members that we have to come to discussions and to participate in voting and highlighting priorities, we really need more of our community. And so it's an opportunity for leadership and personal growth, your opportunity to get involved and to help. You could get involved in a committee or a group, the fireside chats like we were talking about. So we really do need to expand our committees, which means we need to have additional members who are willing to be a part of our committees. Also, as a member, you're going to receive a lot of very cool opportunities to have discussions within the community, with the officers of CAD, and a lot of different growth opportunities as well. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So now, if you have any questions, you're curious about membership, you want to really understand the benefits at a deeper level, go ahead and email me at membership@CAD 1906.org. And I am happy to answer those emails. So please feel free to reach out, and I will look forward to talking with you. Thank you so much. All right. So first of all, I want to thank all of our board members for sharing their reports and their updates. And I'm hoping that the information got you wondering and curious. But anyway, if you've got if you have additional questions, make sure you write them down and hold them till the end, because we will be taking an opportunity to answer questions. So now it is time for our presentations.
Okay, thank you, Deidre. I want to make sure that I give you a synopsis, just some updates. There was actually something that was just asked in the Q&A. Let me just open that really quickly. So Ted Horton Billard III asked, can you elaborate more on loss for investments? What kind of investments have you invested in? Sure thing. So if you look at the slide, it's there, but also the treasurer report, all of that information is listed. I hope that answers your question. Hugh, the treasurer, may have an answer here. So Ted asked about a loss on investments. Does that mean we've invested and that's the loss? What? Oh, actually, scratch what I just said. Scratch that. That's actually not correct. We've already reinvested another amount. The loss in investment is actually due to stocks. Hugh, if you could answer that.
I'm happy to. So monthly, right, stocks go up and down, and I think most folks are aware of that. Just the stock market fluctuates, and you have a profit and loss you'll experience. And it really isn't of concern, because total, we are seeing growth over time. It's just that you're going to see a monthly fluctuation. And so if you look there, you had the 1.5 million in the spring, and so we've already, grown over 100,000 in interest. So overall, we're seeing growth in our investments. So hopefully that answers your question.
Ted, are you set with that answer? I guess maybe. Okay, thank you, Treasurer Hugh.
Awesome, thanks so much.
Okay, so now, this is so important. I know folks are concerned about the investments and the finances of our organization. So we always invest in our priorities, which align with our mission. That's our process. And that is our 21st century advocacy strategy. Folks will ask for money to sponsor for specific events, presentations, workshops. If you fill out the form, we will sponsor you. There may be some return on investment, such as including our logo on their event pamphlet, things like that. I know some folks are asking 1.5, 1.6 million. That is our endowment within stocks. A lot of folks want to take that money out and utilize it completely to set up a building or whatever that may be. No, absolutely not, because we can operate solely on interest. That's what we want to explain to you. We cannot utilize all those funds for that. The 1.6 million is our foundational funds, but anything above that is interest. We can actually, California Home for Aged Deaf, that money, we actually utilized it to invest in stocks a few years ago. Yeah, that's the CAD Endowment Fund. And we receive interest payments every year. And from those interest funds, we operate on that. Some of that money does pay for our expenses, such as flights, things like that. But folks who fill out sponsorship requests, we will utilize those funds to support you. Last year, we received about $42,000. So I just want to let you know the 1.6 million is still there in stocks, but we received $42,000 from an interest payment. We have 3 trustees who are responsible in monitoring those funds. We want to ensure our stocks are growing, but the interest funds, that's what we can spend. Before CAD was sold, the financial sources were completely reliant on members and member payments. We had a few funding streams here at CAD, and a lot of the board officers, a lot of their personal time was building things from scratch, really. But we also have our sister agencies throughout California that were taking care of things as well. CAD, we are not a sister agency. We are not part of the DAP. We cannot solve problems on the front lines. We want to ensure we network with the right people. We can pay lawyers, lobbyists. That's our mission. Those are our goals to ensure that our legislative goals are being accomplished. So with this budget, when we move on to the new board, the new officers will always have a very comfortable operation budget with those trustees that are watching that stock money. So the boards going forward should be able to meet their missions and goals like we did now this year. I am so absolutely proud, thanks to the treasurer and everyone else. The beginning of our 2023-2024 year, right now we're in the 25-26, $42,000 wasn't enough. We actually had to reinvest in the specific things, and we were left with $13,000. We don't want to take and spend all that money totally. The treasurer was great ensuring that we had funds to save. And I will talk about who we reinvested in with that $13,000. Also, the membership director did talk about what's happening now, but we will also talk about what it looks like for the future for members. We need members to join committees, also conferences. Riverside will have our conference. We want to make sure you join. So that's a general synopsis. I want to make sure you understand that. So in the last year and a half, CAD officers, we feel very efficient with our advocacy, and we are meeting all of our targets when it comes to sponsorships, investing, and sometimes we do attend events in person. The CAD officers, it's a lot less work for us when it comes to legislative work. Now, there's less work required for that because we are working smarter, not harder. We're making more of an impact there. So with that $13,000 left, we have created quite an impact this last year. Also funding. So because before we were reliant solely on membership, now with this new CHAD fund, we can actually dream, right? We have the funds to be able to dream. And sister agencies can feel that we are supporting them now financially as well. So we're reinvesting in so many different organizations, but a lot more that I haven't mentioned as well. But I hope that you understand where we're going with this board and for the next group going forward. Also looking at CAD's future as well. Anybody in the state of California, you should agree that we leave this money within our endowment because we'll always have an operation fund. If in the future we have more money, then we will invest more and more, which means a bigger operation budget for the next board. Like for example, if our stocks grow to 2 million, our interest payouts will be a lot more as well. So in September, as I am finishing up with my presidency, I hope that there is more of an easier cycle when it comes to getting funds from that interest payment and so on for the operation funds. If you are in California and you see something's happening locally, In the past, officers would feel, okay, let's show up. We have to make sure that we figure this out, get committee work on the grounds to make sure we support as much as possible. But now we're changing that. We don't only want to focus on specific areas. California has so many wonderful deaf-run organizations, businesses, vendors. Let's support them. They're doing the work on the front lines to make sure they're advocating for your rights. So we want to make sure that we fund them as much as possible. There have been issues that have come up. There are several folks who expect us to show up on a local level in the front lines, but I always refer them to DAP agencies and refer them to the right people. There's not always so much that we can do. CAD, our main focus is collaboration. When an organization reaches out, we want to give them the financial means and also consulting. That really is how our organization runs. And with those operation standards, we will generate a lot of interest from our deaf youth here in California because they see that it's less of a headache to be smart politically because we are funding the folks who are on the front lines. So hopefully the next officers taking over enjoy it because the funding is there. And they have room to be able to dream and make these dreams come true. So I hope to give the next board CAD wrapped up in a bow. All right, next slide here. Oh, could we go to reinvestment really quick here? So some organizations are not here, but if you look here, BADA, CAD, Sign With Me, Co-Fusion Group, these are different organizations that we've reinvested in, such as DHHSC, NorCal, by sending sponsorship money, collaboration funds, us showing up. If you see the list of reinvestments, that's what we mean. We're utilizing our operation funds. I'm not saying our endowment that we have set up in investments. We are utilizing our interest payout to operate. So my suggestion is that is the smartest way to operate CAD by not touching the endowment. Let the money grow. I hope that folks understand that and continue with that strategy. And those funds will continue to increase and we can utilize the interest. It's for California. And that's CAD in the 21st century. It's time. It's time to change and to throw out some of CAD's old ways. There may be folks who are not content with that. Like, for example, some folks said, we don't need interpreters. That's how we do it. We have the funds for that. And I hope to influence the structure of this board going forward and that you feel less stress and less burden with financials and all of the nitty gritty that you don't need to get into anymore. Thank you. So this slide, as I mentioned, there was $42,000 from the interest payment on what we spent out on. I'm not going to go into detail here. You can see it's pretty visual. Like for deaf agencies, we budgeted $4,000 total. Oh wait, let me back up here. This is the leftover budget. Can you go back? My apologies. So there's $13,000 left. We'll look into that. Also, for any new requests to utilize these funds, we will support. I want to strongly emphasize here that we are very wise with our funding stream and what we sponsor. We want to invest in things where there is a clear return on investment, also supporting deaf folks directly. And we want to continue that approach for the deaf community, not only for the deaf community, but also our officers. We are volunteers here for the community. And sometimes the community isn't always very thankful or or appreciative of that. So I'm hoping that these funds decrease the stress here. There will always be some agreements issues within the community, which is fine. That's normal. But I hope that folks listen with an open mind and open heart when it comes to here. As a president, I grew up in California, and this is a new idea. This is the 21st century. I wanted to listen to my officers, what their suggestions were, and we wanted to make sure that our teamwork was gelled, and we are meeting our mission. We have to be open and listen, but we have to be smart. I do not want to go back to our old ways where the president is working constantly or spending all of the money at once for some temporary solution. No. Also, we have to be smart. Invest strategically. That's a yes on my part. That is it from me. We will move on to Deidre, our secretary.
Excellent. Thank you so much, really, for that in-depth understanding, that transparency, what's the vision, clarification. Our website also, if you go back and take a look at it, has a lot of information available on it as well. So our next statewide meeting, let's look at when that's going to be. It's going to be Friday, September 26th. It is going to be one full day. It will be in person. And it is going to, we're trying to figure out the theme, and we don't have it quite yet, but we are working on it right now. We're actually really excited. We're going to look forward to partnering with different people in Riverside and having that community investment as well as the AASL celebration. And so again, that statewide meeting is going to be at least a half-day conference, and then it'll be a half-day for board and elections. And then members are also able to submit nomination and vote. And then, of course, we'll have the ASL celebration the following day. And we will wrap everything up in a bow, and be ready for the next day where the ASL celebration is happening there in Riverside. And we'll get to network and see people, new faces, old faces, vendors, support local businesses, our deaf-owned businesses, and see all of the different vendor services and programs that are happening there. And I think it'll be really nice and inspiring to be there. So I hope that we're going to see everybody there in person. And if you can't join us in person, don't worry. We're going to figure out a way to live stream the information so that people are still able to participate. And we are going to encourage it on Zoom because then we can track if we are voting or if we've met quorum for the nominations, all of that. So, we come here up north and we can go down south. We want to make sure it's accessible. And if you have any ideas about how we can partner with our sister agencies or other local organizations and groups, anything along those lines, that might host a watch party or something of that nature, then, please let us know if you would, or maybe you're willing to sponsor that watch party, then for our next meeting. And so that's just one idea that I wanted to plant that seed right now, and part of our initial planning for September. The board elections at that time, we'll see what comes of it. Okay, I did want to add one thing about Riverside. David wants to add one thing about Riverside about the meeting. Okay. So I want to emphasize what Deirdre is saying, that we really, really, really need you to come on September 26th. We need you. We need you there. We need you to just come, find a way. It's on Friday. That is going to be, our new conference. We'll have the weekend. We'll have hotel blocks. We're going to have, it's going to be a really different experience. And Riverside is hosted they offer so many things in that community. So I am begging you, put it on your calendar, make it a point to be there, find a way to come and show up. If you have to ask for it off work, whatever you need to do, please make it a priority. Be there that weekend. I am putting that responsibility on you now, because in 2023, when we had elections, we looked around and there was nobody. There was no elections. there was nobody running for the different positions, and there was nobody to vote on, and it was barren. And so it had never happened before, And so they weren't sure what they were going to do next. And so then, I personally, took over being president in the fall, and it was like, we had to plead to get people to participate, and it was not easy. So, but anyway, we're looking to make this very fun. We're looking at this very engaging, and we want to take this kind of approach because we think it's so important to have that continued investment in our board and our elections. And so even if it's your birthday, put it off, all right? Put it off, postpone it, be there at any cost.
This
All right,
is
perfect.
Thank you, David.
All right, so you want to check, I'm checking if we've met quorum. Because understanding, again, when we do in person, we may not always be successful on Zoom. It's a testing. Facebook, it's hard to see if all the members are there. So, there is some technological layers here that we're engaging with. So just 1 second while I check if we've met quorum. We don't meet quorum, so I'm happy to continue running the agenda. We do want to share with you, we want to show you what it looks like, and then we can revisit some of this stuff in September. Again, we want to expand on everything as far as the resolution. We'll wait to see what that looks like. And then we can revisit some of this stuff in September. So we're going to go into old business when we were talking about in the 23-24 meeting minutes. We still have some things that we need to approve, the meeting minutes for that. For new business, we closed old business for now. And then new business, we're voting on the September 2024 meeting minutes, September 24th, 2024. And those are on our website, so hopefully you have the opportunity to take a look at them. That was our statewide general meeting. It's under events. If you click on that, then it will have all of our meeting materials there, ready for your review. So if you want to take a look at that, that's wholly up to you. And then the other new business, and I was a little bummed, I was hoping we were going to get to vote on this tonight, is that we want to pass this resolution. It means, we won't do it. We're going to go ahead and show what it could look like. So come with me to see what the resolution could look like. So give me just a minute to put that on the screen. And show what it could look like. So come with me to see what the resolution could look like. So give me just a minute to put that on the screen. And show what it could look like. So come with me to see what the resolution could look like. So give me just a minute to put that on the screen. All right, I'm just going to sign reso for resolution. And really what it says is that what we will do in writing, right? And that we will follow that. And that keeps us a greater level of accountability and transparency to our members and our soon-to-be members as well. And, these materials, again, are available on our website. So in summary, I will tell you what we want to do. First and foremost, the bylaws committee will be established to review the current bylaws. And we have two versions of the bylaws right now that have already been put there with changes, edits, that again, we have the previous board, their edits, and then we have ours with two different colors. So you can see where the edits, the different colors that you see, you'll know which board term, whether it was, honing down the bylaws or editing them. I want to say it was like 20 or 30 pages previously. We really honed it down to 13 pages. And so now this current board is trying to hone it down even further to be 9 pages, because the bylaws committee is they are supposed to review it, approve it, and then upload it. And we'd like to see that happen in 2025 and have them ready to vote on in September if we can meet quorum. And then the second in September is actually there's a third portion, and we are developing the best practices for the operation of governance of the organization. We're looking at what we're doing right now for CAD, and when we talk about online and voting, getting feedback, nominations, approvals, passing motions, etc., and the communication of how we're communicating what's been done afterwards, and then how that's being posted and documented. And the reason is that we want to have better documentation and a filing system for our future boards to look back of what we've already done, and that they can build on that history. Because we know that next year in 2026, CAD will have been around for 125 years. And so if we're curious, what does that history look like? What is, we want to have a historian, we want to have an archivist who's really motivated to put together a timeline of all of the different accomplishments that have happened with CAD over that 125 years, posted on the website. So if you're interested in being a part of that, by the way, be thinking about that. And just really looking at how can we document the history and have everything archived and accessible. So I am going to go ahead and go back to the slideshow. So unfortunately, since we didn't meet quorum, we're going to go ahead and continue with the rest of the agenda beyond the voting portion. I didn't realize that I wasn't sharing. My mistake. Oh, let me go ahead and put this on the screen. This is what I was looking at. I thought I was showing my screen, but I wasn't. So this is my mistake. But this is what a resolution that's being proposed and what it would look like. And so I just wanted to actually share that out really quickly. And now I'm going to go ahead and share my slides again. So give me just a second. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right, let's go to the next slide. So we are closing new business for now since we don't meet quorum. We do have some announcements and some reminders, so I am going to hand this over to Antoinette. Let me just take a look at the time. 4:20, so we are making good time. All right, Antoinette.
Come and sign up today. Serve on an ad hoc committee. Serve on a fireside chat. Also, the high school senior recognition awardees. We want to have a committee set to select those awardees. Please do sign up. That would mean so much to us. Also, we will work together, of course, via Zoom, virtually, to guide you on those processes for those committees. Now, remember, the fireside chat selection committee will be meeting every 2 weeks on Sundays from 6 to 7 p.m. an hour. The first meeting will happen March 2nd, 2025, 6 p.m. on Zoom, okay? Now, for the High School Senior Recognition Selection Committee or Nomination Committee, will be happening on Sundays as well. That will be at 4 p.m. and it will go all the way up until 5, an hour meeting. The first meeting will be on Sunday, March 9th for that one, from 4 to 5 p.m. And that will be virtual via Zoom. So please do sign up today as soon as possible. We will work together again. And remember, September 26th, we will have September 2026, we will have the ASL celebration. So we want to make sure that we start discussing that as well, because we want to host that for CAD. From 6 to 8, we want to have time to honor ASL as a language and its rich histories. Thank you so much again. Please do come. Thank you. So we have the website pulled up. This is the Join CAD Board and Committee. This is where you'll find those forms. So you go to the homepage.
Okay.
So there's request sponsorship, be part of Fireside Chat, and join CAD Board and Committee. So make sure you look at those. Pretty soon we'll be adding the recognition awardees nominations shortly.
All right. Thank you so much, Antoinette, for your message, your announcements, your reminders. I appreciate that. And you can always email us at info@cad1906.org and send us your forms. And then we, again, will be meeting every 2 weeks to review that as it's submitted. So next on our agenda, before we actually close the meeting and adjourn, we want to invite questions, comments, anything from you that have joined us on Zoom today. We want to answer your questions. And if you want to just give us a second to take a look at them, and then we will discuss who is the best to answer them. So thank you so much for your patience. So give us just a second. Let us take a look at the questions that are in the chat and Q&A. And they're just asking if we should all come on camera, if we should continue to take turns. So we do have some questions that have already been answered. And so through the meeting, so again, thank you for sending those. And it looks like those have been answered. We do want to discuss about when the next committee meeting will be. And so our website, it does have, if you want to become a member, and you can send us, you'll get emails, you'll see what's coming up, you'll get that information in real time. So I am going to go ahead and close the meeting. So we are adjourned officially at 4:25 p.m. So if our board wants to come back on Zoom just to say hello, show your faces, say goodbye to everybody so you can see the full board in action. So we are waving hands.